Good afternoon. Welcome back to another video on the strike of midday on the 2nd of September on Monday. Now, this video, if I disappear at any point, is because my son wakes up from his nap. So I've got to be quick because I don't know if he's going to wake up at any point. But this is 5 things that we learned from Manchester City's 3-1 victory away at West Ham. I'm going to keep my voice down a tiny bit because I don't want to wake up a sleeping child who's refusing naps at the moment. But anyway, if you are new to the channel, my name is Stephen here on Esteemed Kompany. Loads of videos on Manchester City. Please give the video a like if you enjoy watching these 5 things that we've learned videos. And please consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. Isn't always child toddler talk, I promise you, but I'm a disheveled parent today. I'm going to go straight into the video and crack on because I'm on borrowed time today. I want to start immediately with the first thing that I took from this game. Before I get into this, actually, there was loads of things I talked about. There's no Gundogan mentioned today, even though his cameo was good. There's no Rico Lewis mentioned because, once again, what more can I say? I've mentioned the first 2 videos of 5 things learned of the season already. Not much more to add there. And there's loads more I could talk about as well. But I wanted to take these 5 headlines in particular. I'm going to start not with that one. That's the wrong one I'm going to start with. Where I'm going to go for? You've already got a spoiler there. I'm going to start with this one, that De Bruyne is good as ever. Now, I really thought KDB was absolutely wonderful on Saturday. The talk of a decline has been much overstated as per usual. I saw some fans, I'm not going to get too personal, but I saw some fans suggesting they'd be happy with KDB leaving if a large amount of money comes in. It's literally KDB. I will never get this hunger for fans to be interested in financial balance. Do not care about that stuff. The money is not your money. It doesn't go to your pockets, and you get to lose a legend. De Bruyne showed plenty of signs, in my opinion, last season that the genius was still there, getting assists like it was no one's business last season. And even though his form overall game dipped a tiny bit, it was clearly just a fitness issue, in my personal opinion. He looked good in the Euros as well, and he's come back into the City side right now, absolutely on fire this season. He looks sharp. He looks really good, like genuinely brilliant. And yeah, as Sam said in the chat as well, I hope he retires at Manchester City as well, because KDB is a legend and clearly has so much to offer. And he was unlucky not to get a goal or assist in that game. I've no idea how. Some wonderful saves against him. He was absolutely brilliant, genuinely. He's a shot creation or chance creation machine. There's no one like him. There's no one like him in world football. And KD plays at a level that many of us just can't even comprehend. As much as I love people like Phil and Gundo and whatever, they're not even close to the same level of, sort of like maturity in terms of not maturity, creativity. They're just not. Like, KDB is a freak. He's an absolute freak in nature that way. And look, a fully fit KDB and Haaland, and everything changes this season. So KDB, look, the decline. I'm a big firm believer in, like, don't make the decision unless you really, 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 really have to. We knew nothing last season about what KDB level is going to be. And he looks fit. He looks firing. He looks sharp. I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing. And the way that he drifted out wide as well, he's always done that, to be fair. He's always gone out wide and gone to the wings and wait for a cross. But it suits his skill set right now. I don't think he's going to quite have the energy of 28-year-old Kevin De Bruyne, and I think it'll slip a little bit. But the talent there, the level of ability he's got, yeah, it's still absolutely of the highest order. And I don't think we should be any rush to watch this man stroll off into the sunset just yet. De Bruyne is a phenomenon. And it's going to be interesting. And I tweeted this, and some people got defensive about it and got annoyed by it. But I tweeted it, and it's a reasonably smart discussion to have. It's going to be interesting to see how Foden gets back in the team. Not that he's not good enough, of course he is, but how? What I mean by how is where. What changes do we make? Because De Bruyne, is as good as ever. He has to start. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Rodri's going to start. And then you've got Gundogan, you've got Foden, you've got Kovacic, you've got Bernardo. Bernardo's been brilliant early on this season. Do you put Foden alongside KDB and Rodri, completely changing the dynamics so far this season, which has been Kovacic and Bernardo? Look, I'm not saying you don't do it. I'm saying it's something to discuss. Do you put him out wide when what's been so brilliant this season is having tricky dribblers on the wing? What do you do? I don't know. But De Bruyne is as good as ever. And De Bruyne is going to start an awful lot of games this season. I want to talk about Jack Grealish because he's another that sort of complicates things. That maybe will answer the question for Phil Foden. Grealish looked alive. He looked good. He was obviously massively involved in the second goal in particular, getting the ball and driving into space, which Jack Grealish is so good at. I think it's fair to say that without that commitment from him, that energy to beat a few people and run at them, I don't think we get that second goal. He ran at people. He drove inside. He committed 3 or 4 defenders, and of course then the passes from Bernardo, Kovacic, Rico to Haaland led to the goal. And I know there was many passes before the goal ended. But it was Grealish's willingness to run at people and force things to happen that led to that goal. And I thought Grealish was good. The debate will eternally rage on. Is it Doku or was it Grealish or whatever? Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this debate. I'm sick of this debate. Sort of trying to separate the players. There's absolutely no. There's no doubt about it that we need both of them, and they're both very different. They're both very, very different, and that's fine. There's many different ways to win a game of football. Sometimes you need the composure and the maturity of a Jack Grealish out wide, sort of dictating play from wide, and we know it works because you won a fucking treble with it working. Or sometimes you need the explosive brilliance of Doku, because Doku beats people and causes chaos a little bit more, chaotic with his output, of course. And neither Grealish, him, or our goals or system scenes. But did they affect teams? Did they make them nervous? Yes, in their own way. But what I do know is Jack looks very encouraging. I thought he looked good in pre-season, and I really, 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 really enjoyed his little run out on Saturday. I thought he was good. I think Jack has got a lot to offer for this Manchester City side. Haaland somehow is even better. That photo, by the way, is amazing. This kit looks great doing it on the pitch. It's technically an ugly kit, I get it. Like, it's weird, it's bold, it's aggressive. It looks like, I don't know, some emergency service attire. It's something that you'd expect. I don't know, the security to be wearing at an event or something like that. I don't know. Apparently my mic's a bit quiet. Sorry, I'm talking a bit quiet than usual because I don't want to wake my son up downstairs. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. That should be a bit better. There we go. That'll be better. Fingers crossed it is. Sorry for anyone who's just jumped in volumes with the headphones. But yeah, anyway, the kit's gorgeous. But Haaland somehow is even better this season. I really do think he's going to go up a level. When he first joined, I said he'd redefine what goal scoring is in the Premier League, and I meant that. And I was proven to be absolutely right, breaking all records, scoring 50-odd goals. And last season, he still broke, he was still top scorer, still scored a ton of goals at Manchester City. But there was a real notable dip, in my personal opinion, in his overall play and confidence and his general just focus. I look at Haaland this season, and this is the Haaland making up for lost time. Like, you could tell that last season he was frustrated to not be as involved, to not be I don't know, to not kind of get the... He didn't look comfortable at all times. He didn't look fully happy on the pitch. But this season, this is Haaland, in his own words, playing without pain for an awful long time. He's had years of niggles and sore muscles and ankles and whatever. And right now, he's absolutely fully firing, 100% fit, in good shape. The second season's out the way. There's a dynamism around him right now. We're playing a lot more direct. We've got wingers who commit people. And Haaland's loving it. And I'm sorry, but I even think his touch is better. Like, Haaland's link-up play at times with Gundogan in particular has looked absolutely great. Little one touches around the area. His movement's been fantastic. I think we've got a hungry, happy Erling Haaland here. He's got 7 goals in 3 games so far, 2 back-to-back hat-tricks. He's scored more than any other team in the Premier League after game week 3 than Manchester City. No one's got more goals than him in the Premier League other than Manchester City. He's got 7 goals, and about 3 teams are on 7 goals as well. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I do think he's getting better. I think Guardiola said the same afterwards. He said he's ridiculously powerful, but his overall game was fantastic as a striker. It really was. And Haaland right now, look, a Haaland that gets better is a scary thought for everyone, but not for us. Back-to-back hat-tricks, and I wouldn't put it past him to get another against Brentford because he's that level good. Haaland is a genius, and he's ours, and a blue. The fourth thing I want to talk about... is Mateus Nunes. Now, I've not really hidden away from the fact that I don't fully massively rate Mateus Nunes by Manchester City standards. I've always said he's a good player. I've never denied that. I said I always felt he'd be good in a early Klopp side. But I always am willing to be wrong if proven wrong. I hadn't seen any signs yet to get carried away because I was always worried about a lack of end product. And it wasn't that the fact he wasn't a good dribbler and physically good. I've always said he is good at that. But I was never convinced with... his output, in terms of, if you're going to be a Manchester City midfielder, you've got to be a genius. You have to. The highest level, Rodri's a genius, Gundogan's a genius, KDB's a genius, David Silva, Bernardo, Phil Foden, these are Yaya Toure, people like, they're all geniuses. We've got some of the best to ever do it. And that is the level, for Nunes. And I haven't felt it shown that yet. But there were rumours going around that he was brilliant in training, really impressing Guardiola, and he got on the pitch playing as a left winger, which is interesting. I don't see him as a left winger at all, but he got the ball, jinxed inside, committed a few people, and played a delightful through ball to Haaland to run away and bag his hat-trick. That assist will do an awful lot for Mateus Nunes and his confidence. And look, I've made mistakes before and been wrong about players, and I'm not afraid to look like an idiot. And I've got the humility to admit when I'm wrong. There's no shame in that. I still am not convinced he's going to ever be a Manchester City regular starter. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Guardiola, look, players can sometimes just go like that. They can just take off and leap forward. And Nunes, look, if he hangs around, fights for his place, and continues to impact the games like that, then who knows, man? He's got the physical ability, he's got the dribbling ability, but he needs the technical aptitude to affect games. And look, he showed promise. He more than showed promise on Saturday, and I'm really, really happy for him. The final thing I want to talk about is Kovacic. Look, Kovacic, I've been a big fan of Mateusz Kovacic for ages now. I think Kovacic is a cracking player, and I'm really happy to see that we've solved the Rodri issue. And that's even without Gundogan on the pitch. I was saying at the start of this season, before the season, the midsummer around July, I don't buy that there's no way to win without Rodri. I wanted us to sign a player. We did in the end, Gundogan, but I always felt like even if Rodri wasn't available, even if we didn't sign anyone, we should find a way to win games with the likes of Kovacic and Bernardo, because I said Mateusz Kovacic and Matteo Kovacic. I've always been adamant about that it shouldn't be that we fall apart just because we haven't got Rodri. We've got literal Champions League winners who can play in centre midfield. It's just not good enough to say that Kovacic, Bernardo and De Bruyne or whatever shouldn't be able to win games. Rodri should not have been the glue. And I think we're seeing some signs this season that were absolutely more than good enough. Kovacic has had a cracking season. I was a Kovacic fanboy last season. I always defended him. He had a dip, of course, but I always felt that he was good last season and that he'd get even better once, muscle memory's kicked in, he's learned his lessons, and he's more adept with the system and more at home. Like, he knows everyone. He knows everything, knows what he's doing. And I think Kovacic, I think he's a brilliant footballer. I really do. I think he's gone from being a rotation player to arguably a starter right now. Like, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's not had a bad game this season. He's been really good in all of them. And when you've got the fact that you've got Gundogan as well to come in, and you've got Nunes having looking good the other day, and De Bruyne, Foden, whatever, all these are people, and Rodri, it's great. Kovacic is absolutely a player who will get better and better the more he plays, and I'm really a fan of him, man. He's playing in a role that he's not familiar, playing in number 6, but his dribbling is excellent. His work rate, he's getting forward as well when he needs to. His understanding of when to slow things up when to speed things up and slow things down is getting better. He's defensively working really hard. Kovacic looks now, he's not Rodri, who is Rodri, but he looks absolutely excellent. I would not be surprised if we could carry on and still win the league with this balance that we've got, even without Rodri. Touch wood, I don't want that to happen, I'm sure he'll come back and be brilliant, but there is a real quality to Kovacic on the pitch right now that I'm absolutely comfortable with him on the pitch with Bernardo, or with Gundogan, or with De Bruyne, or with Rodri, whoever. And I think this is a really nice place to be in. Kovacic will prove, in my opinion, to be a 30 million bargain, the way that Ake was 40 million, and we think he's a brilliant player. I think Kovacic is showing that he's got more than enough ability to be around this Manchester City side for an awful long time and be very, very useful. Brilliant footballer, and I feel like the midfield balance feels good finally. Last season it felt like we had a Kanji in midfield and Alvarez in midfield, and Kovacic wasn't always his best form. He wasn't trusting Nunes, and he felt like the only ones who could really lean on were Foden and Rodri, because Bernardo was playing out wide. It didn't feel good, but the quality in midfield has gone up massively, absolutely massively this season. So they're just the 5 things that I took from this game, guys. De Bruyne is absolutely as good as ever right now. He is flying. The rumours of his decline were much overplayed, as per usual. Jack Grealish looks alive. He has to be. A poor season last year by his own standards. Alive and kicking and looking good. Haaland could be even better somehow. I don't know how, but he could be. I think he's going to smash his own record again. Nunes looking promising, and Kovacic looking brilliant. Guys, just a quick video. Please give the video a like and subscribe. I'm going to go get some lunch before my son wakes up, because he's teething, so I've got a feeling he's going to wake up at any minute. So just a very quick video about 5 things that we learned. I'll be trying something new tomorrow, I reckon, on the channel, maybe a new series. For now, though, love you all loads. In a bit, bye-bye.